Have you ever noticed this? You walk through life, and some days feel harder than others, for reasons you can't quite name. It's not a physical struggle. It's a quiet battle of the spirit. There's a subtle heaviness that can settle in, or voices of doubt that cloud your mind. You might feel like unseen currents are pulling you off your path. But think about this just like a deep, still water reflects the sky clearly. A calm spirit can't be disturbed by these things. Today, let's talk about a very simple, ancient practice using scent, and 7 ways it can help you gently clear these unseen disturbances, bringing a sense of balance back to your mind and your home. When we talk about unsettling influences, it's not about shadows in the dark. It's actually much simpler and much closer to home. The most challenging disturbances are the quiet ones, the ones you almost don't notice. They are the little whispers of thought that slowly drain your resolve. These influences don't arrive with a loud noise. Instead, they seep into your awareness, into your feelings, leaving you feeling tired, a bit lost, and not quite yourself. For women especially, this can feel more intense. Why? Because the feminine spirit is often deeply connected to intuition and a keen sensitivity. This sensitivity is a great strength, but it also means you might feel these subtle shifts more deeply. You might notice days where everything feels heavy for no clear reason. You wake up exhausted even after a full night's sleep. You try to focus, but your mind feels foggy with thoughts that don't seem like your own. Sometimes a sudden wave of sadness or unease washes over you, and you can't trace where it came from. These are not just small things to be ignored. Think of them as signals. Often, they are signs that something from the outside is pressing on your inner world, testing your sense of balance. These unsettling feelings love a cluttered space, both inside and out. They grow in the background of a busy, unaware life, and they don't always show up as a big problem. Sometimes it's as small as a negative thought that plays on repeat until you start to believe it's true. Or perhaps it's a feeling of friction in your relationships that seems to come out of nowhere. Or maybe just a sudden lack of calm in your own home. Each of these, if you let them be, can open the door for more mess to accumulate. That's why we must pay attention to our inner world. Protecting your sense of peace is just as important as caring for your body. Think about it like this. If you lived in a room with the windows always shut, the air would eventually become stale and heavy. In the same way, if you move through life absorbing stressful encounters or negative moods without ever clearing the air, that heaviness can start to feel like a part of you. And once it settles in, it's not always easy to move. It attaches itself to your thoughts and feelings until you almost forget what it feels like to be clear and light. This is the real challenge. Not that some external force is there, but that this inner clutter starts to feel like you. By simply noticing this, you begin to understand the need for simple practices of clearing. The first step is to recognize that this inner heaviness is real. And when you recognize it, you can begin to tidy it up. I invite you to make a small promise to yourself right now. Put, "I create my own peace," in the comments below. Let this be the start of clearing the space for yourself. For as long as people have gathered, they have used fragrant smoke, like incense, to connect the world they can see with the stillness they feel inside. From ancient Eastern temples to quiet Western rituals, it has always had a special place. What this really means is that smoke is a wonderful carrier for our intention. It rises, it drifts, it gently touches every corner of a room. In doing so, it can help purify a space and lift the feeling within it. Unsettling thoughts and heavy feelings can't really stay in an atmosphere that is intentionally filled with calm. The moment you light incense with a clear purpose, you'll notice the environment begin to shift. What felt heavy starts to feel a little lighter. What felt stuck begins to move again. The practice isn't just about a nice smell, it's about creating a peaceful feeling. Each natural material, like a wood or a resin, has its own character. For instance, the scent of sandalwood has been used for centuries to quiet the mind, while pine is known for clearing a space. When you burn these simple, natural things, the smoke becomes like a gentle boundary, a quiet sense of protection for everyone in the space. You wouldn't walk into a messy task without the right tools. Think of this as a tool for keeping your inner and outer world clear. And you know what's interesting? What makes this practice so special isn't just its ability to clear a room. It's also its power to help you find alignment within yourself. The moment you choose to light incense, you are making a decision to slow down, to be present, to just breathe for a moment. This simple act becomes a ritual. It's a small declaration that you are taking responsibility for the atmosphere around you. You see, states of distraction and chaos are where unsettled feelings thrive. They lose their hold when you center yourself, when you choose stillness and clarity, even for a minute. So, burning incense isn't about chasing away negativity. It's really about inviting in strength and peace to fill the space where that heaviness used to be. When the smoke fills a room, it does more than just clean the air. It creates an environment where it's difficult for that cluttered feeling to remain. Why? Because heaviness cannot coexist with intentional calm. Just like small insects avoid a flame, that heavy feeling tends to retreat from the rising smoke that carries your clear intention. While your eyes may just see thin trails of scent, in the unseen world of your feelings, it is like turning on a bright, gentle light that helps you see what is yours and what isn't. This is why anyone can embrace incense as part of their practice. It's not some outdated tradition. It is a living, breathing tool that can help turn any space into a small sanctuary. To hold it in your hands is to hold a simple key, a key that can open the door to peace and close the door to clutter. Now, many people think that the incense itself holds some kind of special power, but the truth is actually much more simple and much more empowering. Incense is a tool, a simple container. What gives it its real strength is not just what you burn, but the focused intention you bring to the act of burning it. Think about it. Fire and smoke are very direct. They respond to the state of the person who lights them. If your mind is racing and your heart is restless, then the incense is little more than a pleasant fragrance. But when your thoughts are steady, when your spirit is settled, the smoke becomes something more. It becomes a quiet force that carries your clear intention outwards, making it harder for any feeling of disorder to stay. Here's the thing, everything in our world has a certain quality to it, and your focused intention is the clearest, sharpest quality you have. Unsettled feelings aren't concerned with empty motions, but they quiet down when a person stands with clarity and conviction, with a steady heart and a directed mind. Lighting incense when your heart is full of doubt is like holding a useful tool but being too distracted to use it properly. But lighting it with quiet confidence, knowing that this simple act is creating a clear space, is like sweeping dust out of a sunlit room. When you burn incense, let it be an act of presence. Don't rush it. Take your time. Pause, center yourself, take a deep breath, and let go of everything that feels heavy. Then, with a clear mind, set your intention. Maybe you want to gently clear away a lingering sense of unease. Maybe you're seeking a feeling of protection for your home. Maybe you just want freedom from that foggy, confused feeling that's been weighing on you. Speak it in your mind or say it softly. Let your intention be simple and clear. The smoke will rise and carry that simple command into the space around you. This is why ancient wisdom from so many cultures has always combined incense with prayer, meditation, or quiet chanting. The scent alone helps to calm the senses, but pairing that scent with a focused mind creates an opening for real change. It's not magic. It's about a quality of attention meeting a tool. That heavy, stuck feeling thrives when we are passive, but it cannot stand up to the strength of a focused will. And this is what the simple practice of lighting incense can teach you: to align your body, your breath, your mind, and your spirit. To let the act become more than just a habit. It becomes a declaration of awareness. Every time you light incense with a pure intention, you are training yourself to stand steady in the face of these quiet inner battles. You are gently teaching your spirit to be the master of your inner home. And with each practice, the connection between your inner strength and this outer tool gets stronger. Eventually, the incense becomes more than smoke. It becomes a mirror of your own calm power. The real force is not in the object itself, but in the attention and peace you breathe into it. We all face different kinds of struggles. Not every challenge feels the same. That's why one single approach isn't always enough. In life, you used different medicines for different ailments. In the same way, the scents you choose can be helpful for different states of mind you wish to clear. Each plant, resin, and root has its own character, its own purpose. To understand this is to understand that creating a peaceful space isn't random. It can be very specific. There are scents well suited for clearing confusion. These are for the times when your mind feels cluttered, when thoughts twist and turn until you can no longer hear your own quiet, inner voice. Burning these is like opening a window in a stuffy room, letting fresh air and light pour in so you can think clearly again. There are scents that help dissolve unease, for those moments when a nameless worry grips your heart. Their fragrance is like a warm blanket, calming you and reminding you that you are stronger than any passing feeling. There are also scents for when your spirit feels weighed down and no amount of rest seems to help. These fragrances work to lift those invisible burdens, to shake off the weight of oppression that heavy energies use to keep you feeling low. For those who are troubled by restless sleep, certain scents can bring protection, shielding the mind during the night so you can find deep, peaceful rest. Feelings of jealousy or envy from others can also be a hidden struggle. When someone directs those feelings at you, it can stir up trouble in your life. There are specific scents that can help cut through this heavy feeling, dissolving it before it takes root. And then there are practices for releasing spoken words of ill will, for when you feel that someone has deliberately tried to tangle your path with negativity. Certain scents can cleanse this deeply, breaking the hold of those words and returning your spirit to freedom. Each of these 7 approaches holds a specific purpose, and when a woman learns to choose and use them with awareness, she is no longer helpless. She becomes equipped with simple wisdom passed down through time. And her home becomes a place where no heaviness can linger, and her spirit becomes grounded and serene. To know this is to know that for every challenge, there is a simple path back to peace. This feeling of peace is not something that happens by accident. It must be cultivated. It needs to be maintained. It can become a part of your way of living. Too often, we wait until we feel overwhelmed before we do something to care for our spirit. But by then, the heaviness has already settled in. A much wiser path is to create a simple, daily ritual, a small practice that consistently clears your space and strengthens your inner calm. The body is nourished by food and water. The spirit is nourished by practices that nurture and protect it. And using scent can become a central part of this rhythm. Imagine starting your morning not with a rush of thoughts, but with a moment of stillness. You light some incense. You watch the smoke begin to rise, carrying with it your simple intention for the day. As the scent spreads, your home fills with a feeling that welcomes peace and keeps out heaviness. In that moment, you are setting the tone for everything that follows. Every step you take is supported by the clarity you created at the start of your day. Or think about the evening. After a long day, you may have absorbed stress or friction from others. Instead of letting those feelings linger, you take a moment to cleanse. You burn a little incense, you breathe deeply, and you let the smoke gently sweep away everything that doesn't belong to you. By doing this, you release the weight of the day. You protect your rest and prepare your spirit to enter the next day fresh and renewed. A daily ritual doesn't need to be long or complicated. It's not about how much time you spend, but about the quality of your attention. Honestly, even 5 minutes can completely shift the atmosphere if you do it with full presence. You might choose to say a quiet prayer or repeat a simple phrase that brings you comfort. Or you could just stand in silence, allowing the scent to work as you align your heart and mind. The most important part is consistency. Just as washing your hands daily keeps your body clean, clearing your space daily helps keep your spirit clear. Over time, this small practice builds layers of strength around you. The unsettling feelings that once came in easily will find no open door to enter. Your home becomes a true sanctuary. Your spirit becomes steady and resilient. And just as importantly, this daily ritual reminds you of your own ability to create peace. Each time you light incense with purpose, you declare to the unseen world of thought and feeling that you are not passive. You are not a victim. You will not allow a heavy atmosphere to dictate your life. When this becomes a daily ritual, protection is no longer something you desperately seek in difficult moments. It becomes the very atmosphere you live in every single day. When a woman begins to walk with this awareness of her own inner strength, something quietly changes. She is no longer shaken by every storm that passes by, because she knows that storms are temporary, but her foundation is deep and still. The incense she burns is no longer just smoke. It becomes a symbol of her discipline, her clarity, and her choice to not allow heaviness any place in her life. This transformation is not loud. It is not something to boast about, but it is very powerful because it radiates from the inside out. You can see it in her presence. Where she once might have felt drained, she now carries herself with a certain lightness. Her eyes don't reflect confusion anymore, but a calm knowing. Her spirit no longer feels pulled in different directions. It feels grounded, centered. The quiet battles may still appear, but they no longer knock her over. Because she has learned how to care for her inner space and how to release what does not belong to her. She understands that she is not at the mercy of hidden currents. She is the one who decides what comes into her space and what must leave. There is a deep beauty in this. It is not about becoming untouchable. Challenges will always arise. Life will always test us. Other people's unresolved feelings will still try to find a home. But the difference is, she no longer fears them. Eunice has no hold over someone who knows how to tend to their own spirit. Instead of reacting with panic, she responds with stillness and with strength. She has her tools, she has her rituals, and she has her intention. And that is enough. In caring for herself, she also cares for those around her. The home of such a woman becomes a sanctuary, a place where peace can be felt the moment you step inside. Her calm uplifts her family and friends. She becomes a source of stability in a turbulent world because she is not easily shaken. Her small rituals are not only for her own freedom, but for the peaceful atmosphere she creates for others. This is the true path to peace, not that challenges disappear from the world, but that they no longer have control over you. This path is about taking small, consistent steps. If you're ready to commit to your own inner peace, consider subscribing and continuing this journey with us. When a woman transforms herself in this way, she reclaims the strength that was always hers, just waiting to be uncovered.